LA Rams. And let's just also say that New England wasn't even supposed to be in this fucking Super Bowl. I think it was just, do y'all ever feel like the NFL is fixed? Sometimes I be feeling like it. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, the NFL is really out to make Tom Brady a thing. I'm not sure why. But we all know that it should have been the New Orleans Saints playing against the Rams. That would have been a better game. This game was whack boots. But, and I only saw the highlights, girl. I wasn't here to be watching the whole thing. But anyways, let's get back to the real story here. So down in the ATL came the New England Patriots and the Broads of the Rams. And you know who wasn't there? Colin Kaepernick. And you know why? Because he still doesn't have a job. And do you know why? Because of the NFL organization, which is a non-for-profit organization. Bet you didn't know that. The NFL organization still doesn't want to give this black man a job because he sought to publicly show his disdain for police brutality, as well as young black and brown people losing their lives on the street innocently by the hands of law enforcement. So the NFL has sought to not give him a job. I also feel like that is partially, playing into the hands of our current political landscape. But listen, we can go on and on about that forever. But at any rate, so for all of you girls that chose to participate in the shenanigans of the bowl of soup this weekend, congratulations to you. That would include, but be not limited to, Chloe and Halle, who sang America the Beautiful for the opening ceremony of the bowl of soup. And also one Night of Gladys. Yes, sans the pips. Now, as you well know, I believe that Miss Knight resides in Atlanta, Georgia. So I guess the NFL didn't have to pay too much to get her there. And I heard she did a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Now, I know a lot of you, even myself, I had some shade out here for Chloe and Halle just because they are Beyonce's artists. And I don't know, I kind of felt like, okay, well, this is a weird juxtaposition that Beyonce's artists would be performing at the Super Bowl, the same Super Bowl that Beyonce and her husband, who are avid supporters of Colin Kaepernick, I just found it to be a little weird that these young ladies performed there. I love them. I think that they're poised, beautiful young ladies with amazing voices. However, I was a little bit taken aback by the fact that these young ladies performed. Now, I'm not canceling them. I know some of you guys are quick to talk about y'all canceling somebody. I'm not canceling them. I feel like it's your choice. It's your choice to do what you feel like doing. And for all of those like myself and young Robin Rihanna Fenty and others who chose to not participate, I think that that's your right as well. Anyways, the Super Bowl went down this weekend. I would love to say that it went down without a hitch, but oh, the block was hot in Atlanta. Speaking of the block being hot in Atlanta, 21 Savage was taken into custody by ICE. The immigration came down hard on your guy 21 Savage. Why? I'm not sure. First of all, none of us knew that 21 Savage was British. Now, for all of you girls who are wondering, no, he is not from London, England. 21 Savage is from the Caribbean island of Dominica. He was, now I always thought that 21 Savage was from, I thought he was from Atlanta, but much to my chagrin, and the chagrin to many of you, young Shah Ya Abraham Joseph, who is 26 years old, that is 21 Savage's name. Shah Ya Abraham Joseph. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but whatever. Who is 26, entered to the United States when he was about 13 or 12, and in 2005. His visa expired in 2006. In 2014, he was arrested on felony drug charges. This was not brought to light, his immigration status at the time of him being arrested. Now, it is worth noting that the arrest took place 5 days after 21 spoke out about the president's family regarding the separation policies that have been taking place at the border, separating families and children from their parents. We're hearing stories of children as young as 14 months old being separated from their parents and being locked up in detainment at by Border Patrol. And it's also worth noting that this is one of the immigration's highest profile arrests that we've heard about. Coincidentally, 21 was on the Jimmy Fallon show a couple of weeks ago to debut his single "A Lot." Now, here are some of the lyrics that he rapped. Been through some things, but couldn't imagine my kids stuck at the border. Flint still need water. People innocent, couldn't get lawyers. So apparently 21 Savage has been on the prowl lately and trying to do good. Apparently he recently donated thousands of dollars in school supplies and what have you to disenfranchised children and families. And, he's got, I think, at least 3 kids that he is out here supporting. And, the immigration enforcement decided to come down on him. Not to come down on him during the time of his felony charges. Not to come down on him at the time that he was arrested in high school, but to come down on him whilst he be doing all of these things and speaking out against our president and his wayward policies. So I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that what is really sad about all of this is that this arrest and the fact that he has money to kind of get past this situation is a shame to me, because there's so many people who can't afford it. And so for them to make this big arrest in Atlanta over the Super Bowl weekend, I don't think that any of this is a happenstance or an accident. And I am keeping 21 in my prayers, because I know that it is really crazy when one is trying to turn their life around, and it just seems like forces can pull you back into and kind of this pain body, which is what I've really been getting into this Eckhart Tolle, but the pain body and what that means in terms of people knowing your triggers and people knowing your buttons and kind of pulling you in. So I really do feel bad for him. You know who didn't feel bad for him? Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato thought it was funny that she posted, she thought it was funny, all the memes that were being posted about 21 Savage. And you know who didn't think it was funny? Wale. Wale chose to speak to Demi Lovato, which she snapped back at him and said some stuff about, oh, you are just desperate for someone to pay you attention and what have you. Listen, I don't think that someone's freedom and someone's ability to take care of their family has anything to do with funny or humor. You know, I'm one who says I appreciate being able to take things at lightheartedness and really be able to laugh at our woes sometimes. I think that that's important. But I don't think that now is the time to be making fun of young 21 Savage and really going there. But Demi Lovato did, and Wale clapped back at her. And you know who else thought it was funny? Chris Brown. Well, Chris Brown laughed and posted a meme, I believe, of 21 Savage. And I think he's like, there's a dub over his voice. It's a British dub. Now, for all of you people that are stupid as shit, Dominica is not London, okay? Much like Jamaica and much like many of the islands in the Caribbean, they are either British, Spanish, or European, European as in the UK, British, Spanish, or French colonialism, and what we were dealt with there. They're owned and I believe the stronghold over a lot of those islands are from those three countries or those three nations. So yes, he is British, but only of ownership because Dominica is a British colony. So no, you guys, no, you would not have known that he was British because he's not from Britain. He's from Dominica, y'all. At any rate, so Chris Brown posts this meme, right? He posts this meme and him and Offset decide to get into it. The girls start clapping back at each other because Offset believes that the meme isn't that funny. And words are exchanged, people telling each other to suck their dick and come see me and calling each other coke boys and shit like that. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm really not here for Chris or Mr. Set. What I will say is, I don't know if now is the time. I don't believe that Chris was having a go at 21 Savage. I think he was just kind of being lighthearted. I do believe that Chris, who has been under fire for his own, at least within the past couple of weeks, his own snafu with Johnny Law, I don't think that he was coming for 21 Savage. I think it just worked out that, he was just having a little go at him, a little fun time. And Offset didn't find it too funny. Well, at any rate, we'll see how that turns out. Because, we have the attention span of a white crayon. So we really don't care too much about most of this shit. You know what, you guys? So I didn't watch the halftime performance. I didn't even go back to watch the clip of the halftime performance at the bowl that was super. I know that it was weak sauce. I wanted to understand, how did Big Boy and Travis Scott play into all of this? Because my understanding is that they did not. CeeLo Green thought it was really exciting that his friend Big Boy, who was adorned in a big old fur coat, CeeLo Green said, now, for those of you who do not know who CeeLo Green is, he is a proud member of the Goody Mob as well as the duo Gnarls Barkley. So at any rate, CeeLo Green was showing his support for Big Boy and felt the need to state the following. Fuck these so-called protesters. You just got 100 million worth of press. So, one of these protesters, Tamika D. Mallory, got him all the way together and let him know that, listen, sweetness. Some of us protesters really don't give a fuck about Big Boy and his big ass ugly coat and all this whack shit that he's doing on the television. And you and your opinions, Mr. Gnarls Barkley, could shove it up your ass. Listen, I think that the Super Bowl was just a giant catastrophe from the beginning to the end, from the weekend in Atlanta. And you know what? Let me say this. Atlanta is a black utopia, if you will. And for most of you who don't know the history of Atlanta and how it became this black utopia, originally in the Great Migration much after slavery, most people thought that Alabama, because of its proximity to the coastline and what have you, was going to be the Atlanta. And unfortunately, it didn't work that way because white America did not want to invest the money in this predominantly African American community. So much like the Oklahoma, where the black stock market thrived, Atlanta became this home of black financial utopia, if you will. A lot of Black people have migrated to Atlanta, and listen, for the girls who